Please subscribe my channel. I looked at the screen longer than I thought I would. Not because it shocked me, but because she said it so easily, like meeting an ex in private was no big deal. There was a time when a text like that would have made my thoughts spin out of control, questions piling up fast. But that day I stayed steady. Too steady. I sent back a short reply. Okay. Then I set my phone aside and went back to my work. I did not stress. I did not check in. I did not ask who, where, or why. I followed her words exactly. After all, when someone says no need to worry, they expect you to trust them. What she did not realize was that her easy confidence gave me clear thinking, and clear thinking changes how you act. An hour went by with no news, no texts. I pictured her in some familiar spot, going over old talks and old feelings, thinking I was at home feeling nervous and helpless. Instead, I opened my contacts and scrolled slowly until I found a name I had not used in years, his wife. I still had her number from a Christmas card we had swapped long ago, back when everyone respected limits. I paused for just a moment, then dialed. She picked up, polite but puzzled, ready to listen. I told her who I was and why I was calling. No yelling, no scene, just the plain truth and a few questions. A long quiet followed on her side, the kind that means something just clicked. She had no idea about the private meeting. I kept it simple. I did not add extra details. The truth, said calmly, carries its own strength. We talked for a short time with respect, and then I ended the call. I returned to my desk, finished my coffee, and waited. When my phone rang again, the calm was gone on her side. Not on mine. She started yelling before I could even speak. Words spilled out in a rush of fear. What did you do? Her voice sounded sharp and scared. Nothing like the relaxed tone from before. I let her finish, letting the quiet stretch just enough to make a point. Then I answered in an even tone. I just talked to his wife alone. No need to worry. The line went completely silent. I could hear her breathing quick and uneven. She asked what I had said, demanded every detail, claimed I had gone too far. I reminded her softly that privacy seemed very important that day, that sharing the truth quietly should not cause a problem. She tried to explain it away, saying it was not what it seemed, that I had gotten it all wrong. But fear shows more truth than any confession ever could. In that moment, I saw clearly what she had been hiding and from whom. She hurried home soon after, eyes wide, body tense. She walked back and forth in the living room, giving versions of the story that shifted every few minutes. I did not cut in. I did not raise my voice. I just listened. When she finally asked how I could do that to her, I answered plainly. I did exactly what you did. That stopped her right there. She had not expected fairness. She had expected to act without any fallout. I told her I was not mad about her talk with her ex. I was mad about the idea that I should accept secrets while being told to stay calm. Trust cannot be one-sided. You cannot take it for yourself and refuse it to the other person. The problem was not who she spoke to. It was that she thought a quick "don't worry" could replace real respect. And respect, once bent too far too often, breaks without noise. Later that evening, texts began arriving from his wife, questions, checks on facts, thanks mixed with surprise. The consequences were spreading fast now out of my hands. My wife watched it happen, seeing that she had misjudged how linked our choices truly are. She said I had humiliated her. I corrected her. The humiliation did not begin today. It began when hiding felt safer than being open. She claimed I had planned the whole thing. I shook my head. Planning means bad intent. This was simply a response. I did not lay a trap. I just took away the soft landing that shielded a poor choice from its results. She asked if I wanted to destroy her life. I told her the truth. I am trying to stop making mine smaller. A heavy silence followed, not dramatic, but the kind that forces real thinking. That night, I slept well for the first time in weeks. Not because everything was fixed, but because it was finally out in the open. In the days after, we had talks that should have happened much earlier. Some hurt, some cleared things up, but none left confusion. She learned that telling someone "don't worry" does not remove responsibility. It actually tests it. I learned that I had been carrying worry, for both of us far too long. When people hide behind privacy, it is rarely about healthy limits. It is usually about control. And control cannot survive daylight. I did not feel like a winner. I felt done with pretending, done with guessing, done with taking on burdens that were not mine. Calm is not the lack of emotion. It is the presence of choice. Friends later asked why I did not confront her directly first, why I chose action instead of words. I told them that real conversation needs honesty to work. Action shows whether honesty is there. That hour she spent talking privately told me all I needed to know. My hour did the same for everyone involved. Sometimes balance is the clearest way to communicate. I did not make things worse. I simply reflected them. And the reflection showed truths no one wanted to see. Trust is not rebuilt with comforting words. It is rebuilt with steady actions. Whether our marriage lasted after that day depended not on sorry words, but on owning up. And owning up only counts when it is hard. That day taught me a simple lesson. If secrecy is okay for one person, it must be okay for both. If it is not okay, then it is not okay at all. Full stop. My wife thought saying, "Don't worry," would keep everything contained. Instead, it showed how easily containment breaks. When she called yelling, she was not truly mad about my call. She was scared of being seen, clearly. And fear always points to truth quicker than excuses. I did not shout. I did not threaten. I answered with the same calm she had asked from me. And that calm changed everything. I learned that trust is not about staying relaxed. It is about being treated with respect. When respect is swapped for secrecy, the strongest answer is not panic. It is clear sight. I took her advice and did not worry one bit. I acted. And by acting, I finally stopped carrying the load of someone else's secret choices. Sometimes the quietest response is the one that ends all the pretending.